What's going on, train people? I'm Ben Wayne. Thanks for joining me in another video. Today, I'm going to address a question that I get on almost a daily basis between Instagram and YouTube. I get these questions every single day, and that is, where do I get my train shells? So, first of all, let's talk a little bit about why train shells are important. So, if you don't always have the chance to run your trains, you should at least be able to look at them, right? Have them displayed nicely, right? And then second of all, storage is extremely important. No one really wants to keep their trains in a box. If you spend the money, you want to be able to see the money. These models are gorgeous. They're filled with all sorts of details, colors. They're just really beautiful to look at. So you really want to be able to display them instead of keeping them in a box, right? Too much money is spent to keep stuff like this in a box. You don't want to keep your trains on the ground either. They're going to get kicked around. Something's going to get dropped on them. A kid will pick them up and break up all the detailed pieces that you can't replace. So that's where the shelving comes in. So with that being said, I reached out to a company called MrTrain.com or Mr. Train. They specialize in shelving for your model trains, reversible shelving to be exact, for O scale and HO scale. They also have O scale accessories and scenic materials and so on. So be sure to check out MrTrain.com. So they sent over this package. I want to go ahead and get into it and see what this shelving is about. All right, I got my razor here. We're just going to cut into it. There we go. So a lot of you guys have told me that, there are other companies out there that have shelving, but you're on a wait list for like 7 months, right? And this is the time of the year where there are a lot of pre-orders coming in. And where are you going to put all those pre-orders you got coming in? You need shelving now, right? You don't want to keep them on the floor because, like I said, too expensive, they'll get broken. And you don't want to keep them in a box because chances are, if you know the hobby, you've waited months for those pre-orders to come in and you want to be able to see the money, right? You need to be able to see what came in, and unpackaging and then repackaging is a total pain. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward through this and get this unwrapped. All right, so there's a note on here that says inside we have end caps, mounting hardware, display shelf joint connectors. So by default, these come in a size of 48 inches. And if you need longer, they also do custom cut shelves. So if you need to extend them, they can do that for you as well. All right, so first impressions. I like the minimalistic look of these, right? A lot of people like to use wood shells. I prefer aluminum. The aluminum gives you a modern, simple look, right? You want to show off your trains, not your shelves. I see a lot of wooden shelves, and for those of you who want wooden shelves, that's perfectly fine, but it kind of gives an old style look, and you're seeing a whole bunch of wood as opposed to seeing the trains. Makes the place feel like a library. This is nice and modern, made right here in the USA. I just love how sleek this is. And again, it's reversible. So one side can store HO. If you collect O scale, flip it over and you're storing O scale right there. By default, this comes in a length of 48 inches, right? 48 inches is your length. I think that looks nice. That's a good length. If you need a longer length, you can simply add on to it, right? So that'll give you whatever desired length that you want. So they do custom cuts. And I like the way this looks. I can already tell you, I probably will be ordering more of it. Now, before we get started, there's a couple things I want to say up front. Now, a lot of you might already have an existing shelving system that's made out of aluminum that's fairly popular. I want to say this. These shelves look so nice and sleek, it's easy to mix and match them, right? So instead of waiting for other shelves to come in, these shelves are in stock right now, and they're not gonna run out on you. MrTrain.com has about 17,000 pounds of aluminum that they sell on an annual basis. They also own the tooling to these shelves, so they're not gonna run out of stock on you. Now, if you're interested, as we progress along through the video, I have a special discount code for all my followers, subscribers, and supporters. Mr. Trains is willing to give you guys 5% off an order. Now, I will say your end caps and connector joints are not included in the purchase of a shelf. You have to purchase those separately. But what you're gonna be getting are these nice and sleek 48-inch shelves. Okay, so again, O scale on top here, you have HO scale, flip it over, and then you can store HO scale here as well. That's really nice how they have a two-sided system. So let me go ahead and sit this high cube boxcar on the shelf for demonstration purposes. Now, one thing I noticed is that the grooves on the shelves are recessed into the shelving itself. So it's nice and stable. Your car's not going to be going anywhere. You store engines on here, they're going to stay put. I really like the look of this, and I like the quality. And again, made right here in the USA. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So the installation process for these shelves is fairly simple. The first step you want to do is find the wall that you want to put the shelves on. Then the next step is taking a stud finder and locating the studs on that wall, because the studs are going to be used to drill into and give you a secure connection, and that's going to give the shelves strength. You do not just want to drill through drywall. That will not hold the shelves or heavy trains, and then you'll have a huge mess. So after you locate the studs, you want to go ahead and locate them on the shelf as well. And from there, you want to drill pilot holes into the studs. That's going to allow the screws to go in easier. And then you're also going to want to drill holes into the shelves that match up with the location of the studs on the wall. From there, it's simple. Simply line up the shelves with the holes for the studs, and then you're going to go ahead and take your installation hardware, your screws, and screw them in and secure the shelf to the wall. So I have the first shelf installed. This is a 48-inch section. Now I want my shelving to be 6 feet long, so I'll use this connector. It's an optional connector. You don't have to use it, or you can just simply butt the shelves up together like so, which I'm also considering. I think I'll just do that. So when it comes to how many studs you want to use per shelf, I think using about 3 screws per 48 inches is going to be adequate for the heaviest of O-scale trains. So there you go. The shelves are installed, and as you can see, they're able to support weight. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. You can see that I have a Lionel Vision Line Class A that just came out. That's on the shelf. And I also have a Lionel Cab Forward steam locomotives. So these are both heavy and expensive steam locomotives that I have on these shelves here, and they're doing just fine. All right, so we got the shelving installed. What do you guys think? I think it looks remarkable. I like the aluminum look, the minimalist look. I like how I can see my trains when I'm not running them, and I like how it keeps them stored safely. Now I will say again, I do have a 5% discount code that'll go towards your first order. The end caps, installation hardware, and the joiners aren't included. You can purchase those separately if you need to, or maybe you could use your own installation hardware as well. If you don't want to use a joiner, a lot of people just butt the shelves together and they're good to go. So I love the versatility and the strength of these aluminum shelves. And if you want even more strength, the more studs that you use per shelf makes the shelf even stronger. So you can store some of your heaviest engines on these shelves. So those are the shelves from MrTrain.com. Beautiful aluminum shelving made right here in America. They own the tooling as well. So if you want to go ahead and place an order, go ahead and do so now and get it delivered and get your trains stored. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the Train Collector's Train Collector. I'll catch you guys in the next one.